goodness, we just hit record.
Holy Toledo.
Welcome to episode 1.
That's right.
Of the 'Cause I Have To podcast.
Woo!
This feels weird.
It is weird. We're sitting here on the floor in our vocal booth recording this during some wild times. And
There's a lot of helicopters. We live in LA. Helicopters outside.
A lot of stuff's going on right now.
I'm Julie Slater.
I'm Jason Friday.
And the idea behind this podcast is figuring out what your Dharma is, if you've heard that term before. That is, people live their Dharma. They live and do what they were meant to be doing on this earth. So it's really fulfilling your dreams, helping others. It's kind of the idea that you're doing things that you were meant to be doing. Like you're here on this planet because of these reasons, and it's something deep in your soul that you find. But a lot of people can't figure it out.
Yeah.
And we are here to help you figure it out while we figure out our own Dharma.
Yeah, exactly.
And we will be interviewing people. This is our intro.
Yeah, this is our Welcome to 'Cause I Have To podcast intro.
And we will be interviewing people who, finding out how they figured out what their Dharma is, and finding out maybe how they went about figuring it out, how they live day to day.
Right.
And really, when you can figure it out, I don't even like to use the term figure it out because you should just be in it.
Exactly.
But if you can maybe uncover the things that are stopping you from figuring it out. Fear. They say procrastination is based out of fear.
That's a big one. Absolutely.
I mean, you should see judgment of others. Sometimes you think, at least I feel this way, I feel like I don't worry about what other people think, but then I catch myself like, why did it take so long to start this podcast?
Yeah.
I mean, even just today, we decided we would do episode 1, and we started overthinking it all.
Yeah, it's so easy to be like, okay, cool, let's just do it. Well, should we like plot it out first and write down like steps?
Bullet points?
Yeah.
Do we write out a script?
Right.
Which mic should we use? I mean, we're fortunate that we had many to choose from.
That's the funny thing too. We're like, wow, we have too many things to choose from, and yet it was like impossible to decide like what's going to be the right one. It doesn't matter.
But then that can overwhelm you.
Yeah.
And then you don't do it.
Right.
There's a big, I'll probably talk about it a lot. I do transformational coaching with Jim Fortin. He's got his own podcast. I'll probably talk about that a lot, but a big thing I've learned is that 70% perfection is success. 100% perfection is failure. Because if you wait to get something perfect, you actually may never get it perfect. Actually, you really can never get something perfect.
Right.
But if you try and wait until it's perfect, you may never ever do it.
Yeah.
Or you may never let anyone see it.
Well, because perfection is technically will never be good enough.
Right, right. And then you can ask yourself, how good does it have to be for you to allow people to see it?
Yeah. You just need to make the product and put something there, because if you're making it perfection, then you're never going to produce that thing that you're trying to show for people.
I follow a lot of people, and Gary Vee would be another one where he's just like, put it out there. Stop.
Yeah, just do it.
Thinking about it. I mean, think about all the things that you think about or think about doing, and it's crazy how you can have an idea and it can sit on the shelf for years.
Yeah.
Years.
I think about that a lot, and you never turn it into anything because you're just like, oh my God, this is perfect. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be done. I can't wait till it is done.
Oh, can't do it right now. I'll do it later. Or maybe if I had that one thing, then I can do it.
Right.
That's why
there's always reasons that you come up with that. Yeah.
You have no idea how much it took for us to just do this and hit record.
Yeah, it's so silly. Obviously, like, we wanted to test out the mic and make sure that it sounded okay. Fine, that's normal. But to really get to the point of just doing it.
Right, it's so insane.
I
You
know.
feel crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I know it is.
But I've been encouraged by a lot of people, people in my community of friends and groups that I'm in, that people are just doing it. They're jumping off the diving board, jumping off the cliff.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to give a little background with the two of us, I feel like I was living my Dharma as a radio DJ for many, many years.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of my greatest jobs was I followed Howard Stern in New York on a station called 92.3 K-Rock. And then out in LA, I hosted my own, a show that I curated myself called Out on a Limb. It used to be on 88.5 FM. But I also did Afternoon Drive on 100.3 The Sound. And that's was a classic rock station. It's no longer around. But anyway, as a radio DJ, I really felt, it wasn't a job at times because I loved music. I got to hang out with like my heroes.
Yeah.
But then something shifted almost 5 years ago. And if I'm honest with myself, I've been searching for something more than that for probably, seriously, it could have been 20 years. I've been doing things, but
Sure.
something beyond just being a radio DJ.
Yeah. Well, again, it's that feeling that you're just like, there's so much more, and then it turns into like deep thoughts, and which then why we're talking about this whole Dharma thing.
Right.
Nobody talks about it, but it's there with you probably throughout most of your life. You know?
And also trying to find, for me, what I want to do that also can impact others.
Right.
Because that's really what my interpretation of what it's all about is. If you can impact others, then you really bring something beautiful to this world.
Yeah.
So, I think in this podcast, maybe we'll help you figure out your Dharma, and then you will help other people. So we will help you help other people.
Exactly.
That's the big goal.
That is the goal, absolutely. I wish we could do that for the entire planet, you know what I mean? Everybody, just one person helps another person and helps them realize something, or whatever gets them to come out with something enormous.
And talk about your background.
Yeah, it's funny, like, throughout most of my life, I've definitely been the whole, I'm a musician, I play in bands, this is what I want to do. And like you were saying, talk about like impacting people's lives. When you play shows and you see their faces looking at you going, holy shit, what the fuck am I watching right now? You like almost, you know what I mean? You get these feelings and you're just like, oh my God, this is why I'm fucking doing it. I'm not doing it. Sure, do you want to be like a cool, rock star and rich and famous and blah, blah, blah? Yeah, that's nice. Sure, why not? But the feeling you get when you stare at that one person in the crowd and their fucking mind is blown, that's, I think, the thing that is even more impactful than fame and whatever else comes with it, right?
It's kind of wild too. I know as a radio DJ, there are things you do that you don't even know you're impacting. But I'm also a singer musician, although I don't play out that often. But I had one time a girl came up to me in New York and she showed me her backpack, and she had the lyrics to my songs on her backpack, and I almost died. Because that's like, she's like, oh my gosh, you're my hero.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, oh my gosh. I mean, for me, the idea that a song I wrote could impact somebody is pretty tremendous.
Yeah.
So I can't even imagine, with music. I mean, we both are such huge music fans.
Yeah.
So music is so impactful.
It really is. I mean, yeah, music has been a part of both of our lives as long as we could probably remember, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful that my dad was such a music freak.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the coolest music at times. Sometimes he would wake me up on a Saturday morning playing really loud marching band music. But he loved like Sinatra and Tony Bennett, which really, I have such a nostalgic feeling for those things.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy that, really for him, he couldn't live without music, I don't think. And
yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean,
music is that important.
Absolutely. And my dad, too, I could say the exact same thing.
Well, your dad was in bands, right?
Yeah, he's been a musician like me, only way longer, right? I mean, and that was like, his deal was every night was a gig. Sometimes on the weekends it was 2 times a night. And that's what, talk about like Dharma, holy shit. That was, it still is his thing. Obviously, he never fully saw it through as a full-time deal, but yeah.
Well, and then the fact that he impacted you and your brother, that you're both musicians.
Exactly. Because of him doing that, but it wasn't even like he was like, hey, you should check out music. Try this out.
Right.
We were just kind of born into it. I mean, there's a picture of me at 2 years old being like sitting at my dad's drum set on his lap. I couldn't sit on the seat on my own because I was 2 or whatever, but... And that just shows you, it's like, I don't know what's happening, but I do know that a musical instrument touched me in some way to where in the future I was like, holy shit, I love this, and right, same for my brother. So I don't know, it's so nice to have grown up with something like that and then continue with it in your life where, I don't know, maybe some people might just stop or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and what's great about music is you can play music, but also just listening to music, going to concerts.
Right.
I mean, so many concerts changed my life,
Absolutely.
So many bands really influenced. I mean, I got a guitar when I was 15, and it's totally because of Tom Petty. I mean, I was obsessed with Tom Petty.
Yeah, Tom
Still
Petty
am
is a little. We love and miss you, Tom.
Yeah. So basically, we are here because we want to dig deeper into our own Dharma and what that means. But I also feel like exploring, it's a journey to meet people who are living their Dharma.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for us to interview people and find out more and really, maybe get a little bit of their electricity through us.
Oh my God. I mean, some of the people, what they're doing these days is just beyond incredible. And whether we were doing this or not, we're still going, can I just talk to this guy for 5 minutes because, oh my God. Yeah, it's there's so many.
So if we want to talk to people in all different, not just musicians, but talk to everybody
of all trades. What literally, it doesn't matter what it is. It's if you go, holy shit, that is totally your Dharma. Whether he's a baker or a cook in a kitchen or whatever. Some type
shoes.
Of right.
Dana Day-Lewis took some time off to become a shoemaker. Is it what's the term for that? Cobbler?
Yeah. I was like a shoemaker.
A shoemaker. Is it a shoe cobbler?
Yeah, maybe.
And sometimes people like think of Daniel Day-Lewis. So acting was, definitely a part of his dharma, but also he can make shoes. I mean, some people just keep going and digging into other areas.
There's so many people like that. Maynard, the singer of Tool, has his own winery out in Arizona.
Oh, can we please get him on this?
No kidding.
That would be so amazing.
That would be amazing. That's another thing. We are big like wine and whiskey
wine.
And aficionados
we will
and
definitely
lovers.
Have whiskey makers and wine makers in this program.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I mean that's just one. Daniel Day-Lewis with shoes, Maynard with wine, Dan Aykroyd with vodka. Like these big time guys.
Can we talk to George Clooney on how
oh my God,
like a billionaire
Casamigos.
because of his tequila?
I know.
I mean, seriously, like when you think about people, let's take George Clooney.
Yeah.
Here's someone that in your, my eyes, he has everything he's ever wanted.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think I want to make a tequila. And I don't know if you guys know this story, but him and who's the guy? It's Cindy Crawford's husband, Gerber's his last name.
Oh.
They, I guess, lived in Mexico, and they decided to create, they're both millionaires.
Right.
And they decided to create this tequila, and I hope I'm getting the story right. So they just kept experimenting, and then they came up with this Casamigos.
Yeah.
And then in the end, it's delicious, by the way. It's the first time, really, I've been able to sip tequila on the rocks.
It's definitely, I've always loved tequila, but this is like, holy shit, I actually love this.
And they ended up selling it for like $1 billion. Something ridiculous.
Yeah, I think it was $1 billion, yeah.
It was something so...
Yeah. Your story is accurate, though.
That's the beauty of really going for your dreams, helping others.
Right.
And then the money will come, my friends.
No kidding.
So abundance. We're hoping to show you some abundance here.
Yeah, that's right. Doing what you love does equal abundance.
And what feeds your soul and feeds others.
We hungry.
It's funny because my stomach just grumbled.
I am kind of hungry.
We are hungry. So I think that's a pretty good wrap up of what we're all about. We are together as a couple. We've been together for 6 years.
Yeah.
We live in Los Angeles with our dog, Rayla. And welcome to our journey.
Yeah.
So I host this podcast because I have to.
Bam.
And you host it.
Because I have to. All
now, I would drop the mic, but I don't want to break it.
If we drop this.
So just, insert mic drop here. And we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for listening to the 'Cause I Have To podcast. Don't miss an episode by clicking subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Share the show with your friends. And if you dug what you heard, please leave a great review. This helps us live our Dharma, and we hope we can help you live yours too. 'Cause you have to.